Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jenny from Starseed Academy. Welcome back to another video on this channel. I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to talk about some spiritual tools. And I'm just going to talk with you about how I use them, because it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to be an expert to actually successfully use spiritual tools to receive information, guidance, to help you connect. Lots of different reasons that you could use them. So before we jump into the video, and I'm going to do some demonstrations for you here today with some tools. Before we jump into the video, I just want to remind you to please like this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video for others to find, and then subscribe for new videos every single Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern on this channel. And I also want to remind you that if you're wanting to work with me, please check out the links in the description box where you can find the one-on-one services, the membership group that I have, and we do an event every single week together. A lot of people don't realize, honestly, just how amazing that membership group is, because it is literally every single week that we are meeting together and doing things like group readings, group healings, astral travel. So if you're wanting to experience a community and have events every single week and work more closely alongside me, it's only $22 a month, and you get 4 events a month, if that's how many weeks there are. It's an event every single week. It's live. It's not pre-recorded. We literally get onto Zoom together and hang out, and it's so much fun. So I'm going to be raising the membership fee. I haven't decided what to yet. Right now it's $22 a month, and I was doing that as an introductory to get the group, the VIP membership group, to build it up. But now it's at like 40, or just over 40 people now. And so I think I am going to raise it up because it's a lot to do an event every single week. And so I want to make sure that I feel like the energetic exchange is equal for me and the time and effort that I put into it. So I'm thinking maybe going from 22 to like $44, which would work out to be $11 per event, which is, really reasonable to spend $11 on an event that's usually 1 to 2 hours long, where we're doing like super epic things and really creating a lot of changes within the members in the group. So if you are a member watching this, please don't worry, because if you got in at $22, your rate will never go up. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so we're going to move on now. Okay, I'm just really excited. I keep looking over here because I have it waiting for you. I'm just so excited to share this with you. I found the most amazing crystal ball. Yeah, it was in Salem, which, Salem's a little bit dicey with its energy. So I made sure that I really cleaned up the energy of this crystal ball, and it's been really cool to work with. This is my first one. I've never worked with one before, and I wasn't interested in how other people use it. I just knew that wasn't going to be the way that I was going to do it. I was going to do it the way I wanted to do it. I felt very attracted to it in the store. It was calling my name. I really wanted to work with it. So I'll show it to you. Are you ready? It's so epic. It's so epic. All right. Ooh. Okay. So this is my fun new crystal ball from Salem, Massachusetts. It has 3, so I can turn this. It's on a box right now so that you can see it. It has 3 unicorns. Okay. So one blue one. It's got a cool goatee happening with a beautiful twisted golden horn. The base has engraved stars on it. Let me see if I can lift it up so you can see. It's so heavy. Oh my God. That's the base of it. All right. And that's it's heavy. That's the legs of this purple one. It almost looks like, it almost looks like waves, the base. All right. So just extremely epic. Okay. Set that down safely. Good. All right. So this was calling to me because I have been wanting to work more closely with the Unicorn Kingdom, and I feel really called to that. So I definitely know that I have had lifetimes as a unicorn. If that sounds crazy to you, wow, you haven't been tuning into this channel very much, because this is the kind of crazy stuff we talk about. I always think about if somebody new tuned in, how, it always seems like there's at least one thing in every video where they would be like, okay, crazy. Well, yes, I've been a unicorn. And maybe you have too. There's lots of people that I've done readings for where they've been like dragons, unicorns, fairies. That's elemental realm. And then, galactic lifetimes as mantis beings. Maybe that's one of the most crazy ones I can think of right now. And then all of your other kinds of galactic Pleiadian beings, Andromedan, Arcturian. I mean, all of that. The lifetimes are beautiful. I also do Earth lifetimes, though. I don't just do that. So it's truly whatever comes through in the reading. It's the person just has to trust that what their team wants to show them is what needs attention. And so sometimes things like witch wounds come up that need healing, and that's usually human lifetimes. So we've all had lots of lifetimes, some of us hundreds, some of us thousands. And yes, one of those for me was a unicorn. So what I like to do is work with what I call the unicorn kingdom. It's such a high vibrational, oh my God, they're so high vibrational. They're like so incredible. I actually did a video. Maybe I'll link this up at the end. You know how I have like videos in the corners? I will do that. I will link up the unicorn video because there was a video that I did where we talked all about the ascension of unicorns, how they start out as like horses and then they're unicorns. And then they become these ascended master unicorns that can be like crystalline. So anyway, I had really been working with and have been working with these crystalline unicorn beings. One of my guides was a male crystalline unicorn, and he's really powerful and really helping me to become a crystalline human. And that's what the new human is. And that's what we're all like working towards this year. It's going to be a lot about physical changes, and that's all in the diamond frequency video. Okay. So moving on to this crystal ball. So I just knew when I saw it like that, sorry if you can hear that, there's cats playing. I just knew like that this was for me. I was super like, oh my God. First of all, it's beautiful. It feels powerful. It's got 3 unicorns, and then it's got this amazing crystal ball. So what I did first was when I brought it home, I placed it on the fireplace mantle, and I immediately filled it with high frequencies. So I placed my hands over it like this. So this is attuning your tool. You need to attune it to the frequency or the dimension that you want to connect with. Because if I wanted to use this to connect to a medium, neutral dimension, higher, lower, I could use any tool to connect with that. Okay. So they're not like immediately high frequency. Okay. They're tools, right? So they can be kind of empty to start, but then have the capacity to create those powerful connections. And it's up to you what you want to connect to. Okay. So, so what I did was clear it first. So I like placed my hands over it kind of like this, or I think I was actually holding it like this. And I closed my eyes and I visualized connecting to God's source. And I visualized a waterfall of white light, and it was just pouring down over this. And I asked God's source, whom I call Baba, please clear this tool, clear it out completely of any energies of the store that it sat in for so long, the people that made it, any energies that it's absorbed at all. Just completely clear it out, make it empty, make it like a fresh start. And then let's fill it up with the highest frequencies of unconditional love, abundance, gratitude, compassion, white light, service to others, ascension energies, crystalline energies. So then I'm just filling it up with white light, white light, white light. And then every day for the first maybe week, I had it where I would remember, because I would just see it on the mantle. I would walk over to it, and I only had to clear it the one time. But all the other days I was filling it up. So then I would place my hands over it and like, I fill you with light. I fill you with the highest frequencies. I fill you with love. And I feel those feelings in myself as I'm sending it in. And then once I did a couple of days of filling it with the goodness, then I wanted to use this tool specifically to connect with the unicorn kingdom. So then I started inserting that in. So then I'm putting in the intention. So then I'm like after maybe 3 days of doing the other stuff, then I'm coming in differently and I'm saying, I call on the unicorn kingdom. Please connect with me now. Please let me feel the highest vibrations of the unicorn kingdom. Please work with me in my mission, my earth mission, to be of service to others and to serve myself, for growth, for spiritual growth, for health, for abundance, for helping people to connect with their teams, for helping people to connect with their highest timelines, and like all of the things that I wanted to work with, but now specifically calling in the unicorn kingdom. And then I actually even said like, please, unicorn kingdom, bless this tool. Let it only be used for the light. Let it always be holding within it the highest frequencies to charge my home. Let it be a container that holds the highest frequencies. And if you ever see it like lowering or diminishing, top it back up with source light, top it back up with unicorn light. Let this be my way of speaking with the unicorn kingdom. Let this tool make it easier for me. Okay. So that was like really important process of like a week of before I even tried to use it, of just doing that with it. And then what I do now when I want to use it is I can take this away. Yeah, I'm going to move this to the side. So now what I do is I meditate with it. Okay. So I don't do like the typical, I don't know, maybe you've seen like visuals of like gypsies and they place their fingers on it and then they're staring into it, staring into a crystal ball, a flame, a candle flame, a bowl of water. And usually it's a black bowl or a very dark bowl of water. That is scrying. Okay, that's fine. I don't do that, but you can do that. Scrying is when you kind of unfocus your eyes and you stare into one of those things, flame, bowl of water, or crystal ball. You stare into it and you use your third eye to see visions. And they can be prophetic. They can be whatever it is that your intention is that you set up in that session. But your scrying is like unfocusing, kind of like zoning out your eyes. And then, but you're still, you know, when you're staring through something, like you're looking at it, but you're like not even there. It's almost like a trance-like thing. And then you're asking these visions to come. And you can do that. I find that that's fun with like a fire, a flame, a candle. I mean, people do it with crystal balls and bowls of water, mirrors, actually. I don't know if I'd like that, but you can do it with a mirror. Anyway, that's how the traditional use is. That's not what I chose to do, because this is a video about how I use my spiritual tools. So it's not the traditional uses. This is how I do it. It's simple, it's effective, it's powerful, and it means something to me. So what I would do is take this crystal off of the stand. I've filled it up with so much, everything that we just described, you know, all the love and the light and the unicorn connections and everything. And I will just hold it and close my eyes like a crystal. Now I'm using it like a crystal, and use it to connect and just say like, please, God source, connect with me during this meditation session. Hold me in the highest truth, the highest light. Keep me anchored in your heart of high, high frequencies. Let everything that comes through in this meditation or this session, whatever you're doing, let it be of the light. Let it be divinely true. Let the information that comes through be true. Let it be what I need to hear, or what the collective consciousness needs to hear. Maybe I'm asking for a message for like a video. So I'm really setting a strong intention, and it's very much in the light, and I'm protected. Okay. So then I find this is like an amplifier now. So like, you know how we use some crystals to be amplifiers? This is an intense amplifier. So I can just sit down now, and there's like no struggle or strain. I can just like close my eyes and not try for anything, not reach to see anything or hear anything or feel anything or know anything, not reaching. I'm just being, I'm just surrendering to it. And as soon as I closed my eyes, just even now, and said, and I'm just surrendering to it, what I saw was like a wave of unicorns running towards me. That's so powerful that was the first vision that I saw, because of the way that I set it up, right? So they were running towards me. It was like on the beach. There were so many of them. There was a wave behind them. It was like a wave of these unicorns charging towards me. And it felt like freedom. And it felt like, oh my God, the highest vibrations. And now if I wanted to get a message from the unicorn kingdom or work with them on a project, this is how I would start. I would start with a meditation like this, and I would ask for what I need. Please send through I mean, whatever you need, some guidance that I need to hear right now. What is the message that I need to hear right now? Or please send through the best way that I can create a project around, whatever, if you're making a course or you have whatever you're doing, making a video, making any content, anything. This is now like a doorway to the unicorn kingdom that I can open by tuning in. And it's so safe and it's so easy and it's really friggin' powerful, really powerful. In fact, let's just see what comes through. We'll give a little message and then we'll move on to the next tool right after this. So what's coming through randomly is not live unicorns. What's coming through is a vision of the stand and how it's three. See how it's three unicorns? There's a blue one, two purple ones. There's a lot of like silvers and golds happening. What came through was that what I have created here is a divine tool. And then I heard like a trinity of almost like, how people say like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, but that was just, I'm not religious. So that was just my symbol for, yes, you've created something very real and very divine and very connected. Let's see if anything else wants to come through. And that's still coming through. But this time I got shown, it was a symbol like Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That's not like, I don't know, is that Catholic? I don't know. But it was like a symbol for showing me that it was a divine tool, that it was holy, and it was saying source was the Father, like source energy, God source. The Son was Christ consciousness, and the Holy Spirit was service. So that I am using this to connect with Christ consciousness and being of service to others and true purity of source light. So super, super powerful. Okay, so we're going to put that back carefully. Very carefully, say goodbye to the unicorn crystal ball. And like, how cool is this? Like, if you've ever, wanted to use a crystal ball before, now you can. Now you know how to do it. All right, let's move on. So the next tool is something that lots of people use. This is probably backwards. I just realized this will probably show up backwards. So I'll just show you, just look at the picture of it. All right, so this is Tarot of the Divine. What does it say? Oh, Deccan Guidebook, inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from around the world. Okay, so here's what I want to show you about this. This is not an oracle deck, which is something that I would normally use. This is actually a tarot deck, okay? Now, in order to use a tarot deck, do you need to be like super skilled in tarot and have taken all of these courses and have like spent all these hours? No, you don't. And here's why. Because even people that are extremely skilled in tarot will tell you that your intuition, what you're picking up with your intuition when you're looking at the card, will override any meaning that the guidebook has for you. Your intuition is number one, okay? And then after that, after the intuition, then you can look at, okay, what does the suits mean? Like, okay, I've got, say you pull 7 of cups. Okay, well, what do cups stand for? What does the number 7 stand for? I don't know any of that. And I can still successfully use tarot cards. And I use them similarly to the way that I would use an oracle card. And oracle cards are easy because you're pulling a card and you're using your intuition. What's the first thing that I feel when I look at this? What's the very first thing that comes to mind? Like if you're looking at a card and the first thing that comes to mind is, ooh, like I really need to stop drinking wine every night, or I need to start working out again. That's what it meant for you. There's a reason that that's coming up within you when you look at it. So these tools are also like little doorways. These cards are like little doorways to spirit and your team, your spirit team of guides. And they are bringing forward the messages that are meant for you right now. So this is just another way to communicate with your team and with God source. Okay. So, or your higher self. All right. So you can do that without cards, right? We know we can just meditate, pray, talk to our teams, and we don't need tools, but a lot of people find them really fun. First of all, they're fun. Second of all, they can amplify things, which makes it really powerful. All right, so I want to give you a little like description. No, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to give you a little example of how I would use one of these. Okay, so they're extremely beautiful. So the first thing that I would do when I pick up my deck, this doesn't matter if it's tarot or oracle. It does not matter. It is the same tool to me because I am not like trained in tarot. I am trained in oracle cards. I did take a 4-month course on card readings, and it was through Hay House, and it was really fun. And then I do use some of those skills that I learned, but truly it's the most important thing is just tuning into what makes you feel. What is your intuition telling you? So let's do that together. So you can grab a set of cards if you want to do this with me, or you can just watch. So what I do is I place it on my receiving hand, so your non-dominant hand. So I'm right-handed, so this is my left hand. Place it on my receiving hand, and then I use my dominant hand to send the light through. So I'm sending light through to my receiving hand, so it's going all the way through. So again, like how I cleared the crystal ball, I'm clearing these. So I'm visualizing God source. I wouldn't say this out loud. I'm just doing it for you. So I'm visualizing God source, the white light pouring through the deck like a waterfall and washing out anything that is not for my highest good. Good. So that quick, it's cleared. Okay. Other people add to that a little, throw it away. Okay, so you're knocking out old energy. We want a completely fresh deck. So we don't want any energy from when I was feeling on Tuesday or something, right? Like we want fresh. Okay, now we've got to set the intention. Okay, so some people like to set the intention over their heart like this. Please tell me about a relationship with so-and-so or whatever it is that you want to know about. I don't do it like that. I like to shuffle as I ask my questions. 1 question per card so that you know exactly what that card is. So clear when you do it like this. Okay, so let me think of an example. Okay, so if I wanted to have a message for today, please, beautiful cards, beautiful God source, and my team and my higher self, please speak through these tools and send me a message for today. And then you can say the date if you want. I don't actually know the date, so I won't. Just send me a message for today. What's today's message? And continue to focus your mind on that one question. Don't let your mind wander. You're putting the intention into the card right now. So you've got to really stay focused as you're shuffling. Message for today. Okay, so that, did you see how it just kind of got tangled up and stuck? That's my message for today. I set that aside. Now, what's the next? So I know what that card is answering. 1 question per card. That's my message for today. Whoops. Okay. Now I want to know about my course, my new course. Starts February 2nd. Psychic light training. I'm super jazzed and excited about it. I'm so excited for the people that have signed up. It's going to be so monumental. I want to know about that. Okay, so cards, team, higher self, God source, Baba. Tell me about my course, Psychic Light Training. Do you have a message about psychic light training? And that one really stuck out to me. So then I set that aside. And you could keep going and going and going. Okay, so now I know exactly what these 2 cards represent because I asked 1 question per card. So it's not like, wait, what is it talking about? It's so clear. What was my message for today? Okay, so I turn it over. So the first thing that I see is divine masculine. I see dragon energy. I also got like a little weird pit in my stomach, and I just had a reading. So this is, I'm going to tell you why this is a synchronicity. I just did a reading, 2 readings back to back, actually, one today, one yesterday. And both times what came up was people that were seeing monster faces in clouds. So they were looking up into the clouds, and they lived around the same area too, in the southern states, looking up into the clouds and seeing really weird monster style faces, like gruesome faces, very similar to a Chinese dragon. And I remember saying it looks like over exaggerated like a Chinese dragon. And we were talking about what these beings represented. Okay, so that is, so to me, see, I don't know what this means, the King of Cups. I don't even worry about that. I can if I want to get into the book and read what it means, but I'm using my intuition. I got like a really powerful punch in my solar plexus and like a little, I was just talking about you. So to me, this is representing like some lower entities that are observers that have been in the clouds lately, that have been watching for things that they can influence with chaos, people that are easily influenced. And then they swoop down and then they cause chaos in their life through influencing their actions. It's not like a full possession or anything, but these beings, if you've been seeing lately, a lot of people that live in like southern states have been seeing these like monster faces in the clouds, and they're not afraid. They're not feeling personal fear when they look at it. A lot of the people I work with are advanced though, and they probably wouldn't be afraid. It's almost ridiculous. It's almost like overly exaggerated, silly faces, but clearly monsters. And they're feeling kind of watched, and they're feeling like they keep seeing them every time they look up. Every day there's a new one. So to me, that's what this is talking about. Okay, so I just was talking about something that looks exactly like this, and then I pull a card on it. So it's telling me that this is my message for today, right? That's what I asked. I said, what is the message for today? So what I'm receiving from this and in my heart, and what I just know to be true, is that I was accurately depicting for these people what they were seeing. And not only are they in the southern states, but there is a wave of, or a lot of, these dragon style lower entities watching over humanity right now and trying to add to the chaos, because we are getting to this powerful place of a tipping point with the light, and they are trying to detract from the light basically and cause more chaos and more disruption. But what I'm also seeing is that there's like beauty to it, and I also feel like it's almost needed. Like, you know how we can look at 3D and like all the corruption and be really angry, or we can look at it and look at things like this and see how people still need it, how they are driving people to the brink of a what's the word? Dark night of the soul. Like when someone hits rock bottom. I see this being driving people to rock bottom so that they can rise up powerfully as the phoenixes that they are. So really, it's not bad, because like, you know, our dark nights of the soul, they're not evil. They're powerful. They're dark. They're nights. They're all the things, but they're not evil. And in a lot of cases, they're even necessary. So that's what I got from it. And then if you wanted to, you could then, you know, look up your meanings as you know how to do in the book, which we won't do for time's sake. But I used the color, the image. I use my whole body to do a reading. And this is how I do readings for people too. I use my whole body. How does it make me? What am I feeling physically? What are the sensations? What am I hearing, seeing, feeling, knowing? And then you use that. So that was my message for today. And then this was my message for my course. And I don't know what to think of it. Hold on. Let me show you first. Whoop. Let me show you. And then it's kind of a weird visual. So let me just show you. And then I'm going to tune in and see what I get from it just from channeling. I think I already am receiving something. Actually, I'm going to let you look at it while I'm receiving it so that you know. Okay. So what I'm seeing is somebody who could choose a couple of things. So somebody that could choose to focus on perfectionism, like, since this is like the first time that I'm doing a course, I could be this girl and she looks really sad. See how she has a tear? She looks really sad and she's like really focused on like the perfectionism of the course. Like, is it going to meet my expectations? Is it going to be everything that I want it to be? And trying to like control it in a way. When things like courses, they take on just like a session with a one-on-one. You can't plan it. You just can't. You have to allow it to fly free. You have to allow it to take on a life of its own. You have to allow grace to enter in. You can't use your ego to try to create the outcome that you want. You have to trust in flow. You have to surrender. You have to, I mean, that really says a lot to me about my expectations, about not trying to overplan every single class, every single session. to leave space for the flow, because miracles happen in the moment. And it's really important for me to, and look at how frustrated this girl is from trying to control it all. You know, where are her feet red? Her feet are bleeding. Her hands are bleeding. I think that's blood. Yeah, it's all thorns. All of her expectations are like thorns. And when they don't work out exactly, they hurt her. They hurt the ego is really what they hurt. So it's like, keep the ego out of it, keep the over controlling. Like sometimes when I get nervous, I tend to like over plan. I think that's a lot of us. And so it's like, nope, look at the background. That's where to be. Like cover that up and just fly free. Trust in yourself, surrender, go with the flow, leave room for a miracle. Everything is working out, best case scenario. So that's what I would get from that card. The last thing I want to show you is how to get a yes or no answer. All right. So a yes or a no answer is you ask a question as you're shuffling it and you say, I would like a yes or no. And then you just, from your first instincts, you look at the card and you decide, is that a yes card or a no card? And usually the image alone will tell you, you know, somebody with their arms wide open, that's a yes. Somebody with their arms is a no. One sec. I've got a cat doing something here. One sec. This tapestry has just become something for the cats to play with. So no, not having that. They've pulled it down during sessions. So it's like very annoying, but they're cute and they were just playing. All right, so I want to do a yes or no. So what can we ask? And then I'll show you. So examples of yes would be like a flower blooming, a sun, beautiful scenery. And then a no would be like something blocked or something angrier. That would be a no card. So in that case, the meaning of the card, it doesn't matter what the book says. It's just, am I a yes or a no card? By visually and what it makes you feel, just from the image and the feeling, did you get a yes or a no? So what do we want to ask? Oh, why are these questions so hard to think of? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, I think I have cats on the brain because Gus was just fooling around. He's been sick. He's had like a kitty UTI, and I think he's better. And I've been using like a holistic approach. And I want to ask if this is the right path of healing for him, or if I should probably like get an antibiotic. Because what I'm doing is holistic healing, naturopath. And I decided not to do the harsher prescription. And I want to ask about that. So then I have to form the question so that a yes or no makes sense. So is the naturopathic healing for Gus, is the naturopathic healing for Gus the right way to go? And will he heal? Will he truly heal from the naturopath and not the prescription? So will Gus heal from the naturopathic medicine? See how that just instantly popped out. Okay. So now we'll look at it together and we'll decide, is it a yes or a no? Look at that. That's so clearly a yes card, right? Look at her. She is so beautiful. So beautiful. She's like leaning up and out in the sun. That's a yes card. Okay, let me find an example of a no card for you so I can show you. Oh, another yes card. I would consider this to be a yes card. If you got that, would you think that the answer was yes? Yeah, they're in a lover's embrace and both their arms are up. Yes. Okay. Let's see now what a no would look like. Let me see. I saw a couple, but I want it to be obvious. Okay, here we go. Here's obvious. Does that look like a no card to you? So if you were to ask a yes or no question and you would receive this, it's a no. The answer is no. Spirit's telling you no. So you can do yes or no questions with any kind of deck at all. If you get a card like this and you don't know if it's a yes or a no, just ask again and pull a different one. You'll get your answer. Try not to, though, get into this space, which I've seen some people get into, where they're not trusting what they're receiving and then they're pulling like 8 cards in a row. It's not going to help you. Oh, however, there is one thing that I didn't say. You can continue on with the story. So what I mean by that is, say I had asked about Gus and I received that yes card. So I place that down. If I want to continue with that story and that line of cards, I can add on to it. I can say, okay, and I leave that card facing up. Yes, this is the right path. Okay, now I'd like to know how long it's going to take for him to heal. And then I can shuffle and pull a new card and deal it. And remember, as I'm shuffling, I'm focusing on one question. How long is it going to take for him to heal? How long is it going to take for him to heal? Something will pop out of the deck. The way that I choose cards is you've seen, like from this, they'll either actually fly out of the deck or they'll just pop out of the deck. So show me cards, an example of what it looks like when one is ready to be chosen and one pops out of the deck. And sometimes it takes a little bit. And sometimes you just know, you're just like, oh, that's the one. See, like I just had a feeling right away. And then that would have been the one. So just continue shuffling until you know that it's the one. Sometimes it's two. These two just popped out, but it's two. Don't be surprised if you get two. Then they're both the answer. And that's because the answer is like detailed and multi-layered, but they'll go together, right? And then if you're wanting to add on, you can have a conversation this way with your team or with spirit. You can have a full conversation. You can be like, okay, is it the right thing for Gus? Yes. And then you go right back to your deck. Okay, how long is it going to take? Okay, well, I just pulled same card, which is random, but I just pulled this card again, and it says 8, and there's like 8 things. So I would say 8 days. It's probably going to take him 8 days to fully feel his best, which is reasonable for a UTI, right? Okay, so and then you could just, I don't know, you could just keep going. Is there anything else that I should add in to his healing? Like other than these naturopathic medicines, which could take around a week or just over a week, is there any other advice that you have? And what happened here was on the floor, all of the cards fell like this. These all fell face down, so I don't need those, but this fell face up. So that means this is the card. You see how it's always speaking to you? Okay, so then what did I ask? I think I was asking, is there anything else I can add into his healing regimen? And then this is what I received. Okay, so what are we seeing here? What is he holding? He's holding a bow and arrow, and there's this fancy cow. It's a cow. It's a fancy cow. Okay, so like the first thing, and again, it's just about your intuition. What are you receiving? I'm receiving that he's hunting on his fancy cow. And I'm seeing here that like maybe a upgrade of his food, because that really looks like a can lid. Like honestly, this is how spirit speaks to us. It's so funny, but that looks like the lid to a cat food can. And this guy's hunting for protein clearly, and this guy is protein. So it's like, maybe we need to think about upgrading his food, because maybe that's why it happened in the first place. So upgrading his food to something a little more high level, golden can lid, something a little more, I don't know, high level food. That's what I'm getting from this. Look at his food. And so then I would be like, okay, I need to look at the ingredients in the food that I've been giving him. Maybe do some research, maybe find something else. I mean, and then I could just continue that conversation with him, or not with Gus. I could have a conversation with Gus, but I mean, like, continue the conversation with spirit if I wanted to keep going. So you can just continue with the line of questioning and just do it like one question per card. If you need a yes or no, now you know how to get one. And good. Okay, so we've done the crystal ball. We've done cards. How long is this video? Are we getting to be? We're getting long. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about then is something that I talked about a lot, so it won't take a lot of explanation, and that's crystals. A lot of people choose crystals from the properties that they research on Google. I would say, again, the best thing for you to do is actually use your intuition and hold the crystal. I don't really like buying them online. I have, because I wanted moldavite, and it's hard to get. So I have, but most of the time I will physically go somewhere and hold it and decide. So like this is a lapis lazuli. I picked this one out of like probably a bowl of them, but I picked this one because it felt good. Like literally you're just going on and I know you've probably done this, right? The people on this that are watching this, you guys are probably really into crystals and stuff. What did it feel like? What vision did it give me? Because lapis lazuli is for the third eye and it's all about visions. So why not in the store, just take a quick moment and ask the stone, like communicate with the stone itself, ask the stone. Are you the right stone for me? Are you interested in working together for the light? Are you interested in helping me with my sessions with whatever you're looking for the stone for? You should have an intention why you want it. It's not just a pretty stone. It has like a consciousness, a frequency. It's a tool. So then you could close your eyes and see like what's the first visual that you get. And I just saw like a heart in my third eye. So love. So that's really powerful. So yeah, that's the right one. Okay, so you can go by how it feels in your hand, or you can go by the color. A lot of people don't know what they need, but they're very attracted to, oh, here's a great example. They're very attracted to certain colors. This is amethyst on the bottom. How cool is this, right? It's like a geode of the rough part of the rock, the amethyst inside of the geode. It's kind of purple. Then we have this like tree made out of, I don't know if it's like ceramic, I think. And then these wire holders, and they have all these cool crystals. So this would be something that, imagine you were in a store and you were seeing all of these options. You could be like just eye gazing and seeing how it made you feel. And like right now, this minty green color is really soothing to me. And it's making me feel like vacation vibes, like just super soothed in my soul. And nothing else is really jumping out at something that I would want to work with at this point, like today. So today I really feel like this beautiful green color is really soothing. So what's pleasing to your eye? There's a reason that you're attracted to it. So how does it feel? How does it make you feel when you look at it? And then I also like to look at the shape. A great example for shape is this. Was a Christmas gift, and it's supposedly a Lemurian quartz. I don't know what makes it Lemurian or just a quartz, but I'm still happy with it. And it has a really flat side, and then it has like a rounded side, and it fits perfectly in my hand. And then I really prefer to choose, if it's a quartz or really an amethyst too, like this, I prefer to choose ones with points. If you get a pointed stone, it just amplifies things that much more. It's like you face it at you, right? So if I'm doing a session and I have like my crystals in front of me where the client can't see, they're usually facing me, point at me. So they're like picking up all the energy from the client, which is on this side of the crystal, and sending it to me so that I can get a really good feeling for what's going on with them. And then I mean, there's lots of reasons why I like a pointed one. I just always seem to choose point. If it's an option, I choose a point, or like a tower, like a selenite tower, right? So you don't have to choose your crystals from what Google says, because Google might not know. Google doesn't know everything. And also like, you might not know what to research. And then you might walk into a store and have never heard of this crystal before. And then you just pick it up and you're like, why does this feel so good? That happened to me actually not that long ago. It was like this neon yellow citrine, or it was really opaque. It was not see-through at all. And it was like neon yellow. And I was like, I don't know why, but I just can't stop looking at this. Like, I just really want it right now. And you don't need to question that. And then it's something that you're ready to work with. And then once I like have chosen it and have decided to work with it, then yeah, you can check out on Google what it's supposed to be good for. And then in that case, you'll probably be like, oh, I see now why I was so attracted to this, because that's what I'm working on. So how to work with crystals, you would clear them in the same way that you would clear the other things that I've shown you, just sending the light through. Then you attune them with your intention, by telling the crystal what you want it to work with you on. Like, let's work together on astral travel tonight. I really want to remember my travels tonight, which, by the way, this is, if you want to remember your dreams and what you're up to at night as the soul, the astral missions, selenite or clear quartz, something like this, something clear, something pointed, something powerful. Selenite's really good, but I have been using this lately and still been receiving a lot of like details. So yes, you clear it, you set your intention, you talk to it. I talk to all of my tools. Because we're working together, we're a team, right? So make sure everybody's on the same page, and then be very specific for what your expectations are of that. Like, I really want to remember like what we're doing tonight, so please help me to remember, store the memories or something, and then I can like receive them through you. Or I want to take, I mean, there's lots of intentions that you could have. I want to take healing with me to this place on earth. Like, if you're healing different parts of the earth, if you want to heal Hawaii, because, or Australia, places that really need healing right now, you could send it to them with a crystal, amplifying it by just holding it in your receiving hand, um, and focusing your intention on it, and then asking it to help send that energy out. And then, I mean, if you're also doing that, like, thank you for doing, like, that's kind of like grid work in a way. And so a tool that can help you is to put a map out and choose the area that you're trying to send love to, and place the crystals on that area, and then place your hands over it and really send that area love. Like, you could pull out a global map and then send everything to Australia. So there's lots of ways that you can use tools, and then you can make other things like maps into spiritual tools. So anyway, this is getting really long, so I'm going to leave it now here, and I'm going to ask you, is there a tool that I didn't talk about that you want help with? And keeping in mind that the way that I do things is the intuitive way, the simple way. I'm not going to give you a complicated way to use a pendulum. But if you do want to know how to use a pendulum, how I would use a pendulum, which I have used before and been very successful with, then I can talk about that, or any other tool. And let's remember that tools are empty until we give them their core, their frequency, their vibration, their meaning. Like, just because maybe somebody would say something like this some people would say that's evil, right? They would be not okay with that at all. Well, it's just an empty tool, and I give it meaning. I give it the energy. Like, I give it its meaning and its energy and its power. It all came from me. I cleared it so much. I sent so much filled it up with so much light, and then filled it up with my intention to work with the unicorn kingdom. And that is exactly what I'm now receiving from it. And it's actually blessing my home, because I've asked it to be a container to hold amazing, God source, white light, and kind of be sending that into my home like a beacon of light. And if it's ever starts to diminish, then I've asked God source and the unicorns to top it up, to keep their eye on it. Right. So tools are not evil. Channeling is not evil. That's another spiritual tool, probably my favorite. More so than using something outside of myself. I prefer to channel for almost everything. These are not evil things. They're like money. Money is empty, and it's about the person that's using it that gives it its intention. And that can be evil, or that can be for the most incredible good in the world. So think about all tools as empty, and then make sure that they are by clearing them, and then you give them meaning. Okay, so awesome. I hope you enjoyed this video. Always leave your questions, comments, or even video requests in the comment section below. I will see them. Just a quick reminder before we fully sign off here, that my course for psychic light training, where you'll be learning all of the psychic arts, using how to use all of your clairs, your psychic centers, plus learning how to channel, plus learning how to astral travel safely, and why you should, and how it's going to impact your life and your spiritual mission and your spiritual growth. Really taking you to the next level. You will not be the same at the end of this course as you were when you started it. It is 6 weeks. Every single week, we're doing 2 live sessions, Wednesday and Friday. We're going live both days. We're going to use Zoom. And because it's a nice classroom setting, I really like Zoom. And it's not pre-recorded. It's real. It's with me. However, it is recorded. So if you miss a session, you can easily catch up. So it's 12 sessions, 2 every week for 6 weeks with me. And it starts February the 2nd, which is a Wednesday, but the doors are going to close on this course on February 1st. So you have just the shortest, a couple of days left until I think Tuesdays when the doors close. So get in by Tuesday. If you have any questions about it, message me. You can message me on Instagram. That's probably where I'll see it first, but you can comment here as well. And I will do my best to check it out soon. Or you can look for yourself, the link in the description box, you click on it, and then it brings up a new menu and it's right at the top, Psychic Light Training Course. Click on it, and what you're going to see is a full description of everything that we're going to be covering. And then you'll know if it's for you. And so I know that there's a couple of people out there that have been waiting and waiting and waiting, and you know that this is the course for you. You know that this is your next level. You know that it's time and you're ready. So don't wait any longer. I don't want you to miss out on this very kind of like super unique course to include all of those things in one course. I haven't seen that anywhere, but what we're doing is giving you a toolkit that all awakened souls need to complete their earth mission. You need your psychic gifts, you need channeling and astral travel, and it's just going to just magnify your earth mission, your purpose so much. And of course, whenever you learn a new skill like that, cleaning up your psychic centers of like lower vibrations, removing blocks, and then reattuning them to super high frequencies, how do you think that'll affect you too as a person, your health, your spiritual growth? Like, it's going to be so powerful. It's going to be so powerful for the people. And thank you so much. I'm so excited and grateful to all of the people that have already signed up. So I can't wait to start. Don't wait. Don't miss out on this. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. And please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. I love you, beautiful starseeds. We'll see you soon. Bye.